Yo, what's up, viewers? It's your boy Blaze Hollow coming at you again with a special trailer. This is a series that I've been thinking about doing because a lot of my friends have been wanting me to do a slice of life series. Now, in my opinion, slice of life stories are just annoying and unrealistic. If you want to deal with slice of life, just go outside. And I'm not trying to diss on those who love this type of series, they're just not for me. Either way, I'm going to give this a chance and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it by adding some of my own special elements. So let me finally introduce you to this story. I call it Seasonal Dragon. So let's roll that intro and get into it.
I honestly don't think you can become a hero.
Hey Ryuko, I'll set them up, you hit them high. Ryuko smirks as she transforms into a dragon and takes to the air. Sure thing, just launch them up at me, Rumi. Rumi wastes no time using her speed and agility to get in between the villains and kick a few of them into the air, only to be swapped right back down to the ground by Ryuko. With the combination of both their efforts, they were able to take down the small group of mid-tier villains, and just as they were getting ready to handcuff the villains, they could hear the sirens of police cars starting to show up on the scene. Ryuko transforms back into her normal self, landing right next to Rumi. Well, that was easy, and it's just about quitting time. Did you want to go find somewhere to eat? Rumi lit up with excitement, almost like she was about to leap into the sky. Of course, I know the perfect place. Ryuko stepped back a little bit, not really seeing her friend this excited unless it's to fight somebody. Whoa, girl, calm down. This place must be really good if it's got you that excited. Of course it's good. It's the place everybody goes to. What are you talking about? Is there a place I should know about? Rumi stopped on her heels as she looked at her best friend like she just spoke another language. Are you seriously telling me that you've never been to the Aroma Chimney? Ryuko tilts her head like she's never heard of this place. I can't say I've heard of it before. Rumi grabs her arms and starts moving quickly. No wonder I haven't seen you there before. Trust me, once you go there, you'll never want to go anywhere else. After about 20 minutes of walking and having to stop quickly at an ATM for Rumi, they finally arrive at the Aroma Chimney. It looked like an average eatery, something that would be lost in the crowd of stores and other restaurants of the area, but once they got inside, they could hear the bell ringing at the door. Everything changed inside. There was a myriad of tables that looked homemade, a bar that looked like it's seen ages go by but in still fine condition. As they looked at the many different faces, they could see a couple of civilians, a couple of heroes, but there was one face that stood out the most. It was a green-haired man. Well, it wasn't just one, it was like multiple. It was like someone had a myriad of children, but they decided to have the same face, as one of them finally came to meet the two ladies at the door, wearing a black suit and a charming smile. Oh, it's good to see you, Rumi. Come for your usual, and I see you brought a guest with you. Rumi quickly hops into the man's arms, squeezing him tightly, acting very girly for her usual character. Oh, Izuku, it's always so good to see you. I've been craving coming back here, but I've been out of town for the past few weeks. Izuku chuckles a little bit as he tries to pry Rumi off of him. I was wondering why you weren't coming in. You usually are one of my regulars. And who is your friend here? Ryuko points to herself, who was actually surprised, not used to people not noticing who she was, especially when she was still in her hero costume. Do you seriously not know who I am? Izuku looked her up and down and scratched the side of his temple. Oh, you're that dragon, right? The one with the all-female agency, I believe? Look, it's not not my fault that no male wants to try out for my agency for some weird reason. Oh, Ryoko, we both know that's a lie. Either way, ladies, is this a casual visit or are you actually going to sit down and enjoy yourselves with this kind of visit? We would like a table. I'll have my usual, but Ryoko actually might need to see the menu. It's her first time here. Izuku was surprised to hear such a thing. Really, that's surprising. Usually people by their teens would have at least been here once. He escorts the both of them to a table near the center of the room after pouring some water for the both of them and bringing out a menu. He walks away, allowing the ladies to have some time to chat and look over things. Ryoko quickly started looking over the menu, seeing that there was a myriad of different types of foods from many different countries. It was almost overwhelming for her, but as she was thinking about what to get, she started to hear a sound of someone's voice that sounded so familiar to her. And that's when I told him if he didn't pay the ransom I was going to poison the entire building. The damn bastard didn't believe me, so I had to make an example. Seriously, man? Then what did you do? Well, you see, I took my handy chainsaw here and decided to coat it in some new poison that I was testing out and sliced the guy straight down the center. Didn't go all the way through though, but penetrated deep enough for the poison to make the guy fall over and wish he was dead. Ryoko quickly turned her head, digging the fact that she just caught a villain spilling secrets. She didn't expect though to see one of the most wanted men right there at the bar, Toxic Chainsaw, quickly getting to her feet and rushing over to him. Hold it right there, Toxic Chainsaw. You're under arrest for your various amounts of crime. Toxic Chainsaw tilted his head like he was confused as he picked up his beer and drank from it. Let me guess, you're new here? Why does that matter if I'm new or a regular here? You're under arrest. Somebody didn't read the rules on the door. There's always a newbie that doesn't listen. Ryoko didn't know why nobody else was moving. If anything, they were looking at her like she was the villain. She was carefully making her way over, reaching for her handcuffs. When the door to the restaurant opened, a joyful laugh could be heard as everybody turned their heads to see All Might. I am here to win tonight's drinking contest. All Might, perfect timing. You can help me arrest Toxic Chainsaw. All Might walked over casually, confused by the statement as he actually takes a seat right at the bar right next to Toxic Chainsaw. And why would I do that? Me and him have a drinking contest to compete in, and this time he's going to lose. Toxic Chainsaw starts to laugh as he raises his drink to the heavens. In your dreams, All Might. I've held this title for 2 weeks in a row, and now I'm going for 3. All Might joyfully slapped his hand on the bar as he placed money there, and within a few seconds a mug full of ice-cold beer slid down right beside him. We'll see about that. I plan to take back the title. I've been practicing. Excuse me, do you not realize you're talking with a villain with multiple counts of murder and terrorism? I'm sorry, am I in the wrong restaurant? Nah man, newbie. Oh, I see. He then turns to look towards Ryoko. Then let me inform you, Ryoko, there are 3 rules in this restaurant. Rule 1, leave your titles and your pass at the door. Rule 2, never, and I mean never, use your quirk within the restaurant. And Rule 3, always make sure you clean your plate. If not, make sure to take the leftovers home with you. Do not disgrace the chef by not finishing your meal. That is completely ridiculous. She completely pulls out her handcuffs and walks over to slap them on the wrist of Toxic Chainsaw, only for her own wrist to be grabbed mid-motion. When she looked over, she could see the green-haired man that brought her to her table earlier. And when she tried to fight against his grip, it was almost like her arm was completely in a vice, unable to shake loose. What are you doing? You have a villain in your restaurant. I know that, but if you realize nobody else was making a scene until you started to make one, I really must make the sign bigger on the door about the rules here and how anybody is welcome, hero or villain, as long as they pay their bill. You're welcome to eat here. I will have nobody interrupt that or cause a scene in my restaurant, so please go back to your table before I have to have you escorted out. Rumi quickly came running up, grabbing her friend. Sorry, Izuku, I should have explained the rules about this place and what it does before we came here. That was completely my bad. Please don't throw her out. She only had good intentions. Quickly pulling out some money from her pocket and putting it out on the bar. How about this pays for the next round of drinks between All Might and Toxic Chainsaw, and we just sweep this under the rug? Is that fine with you, gentlemen? Both men smile as they cling their glasses together and start drinking. Izuku takes this as a sign of agreement as he releases Ryoko, allowing both girls to go back to their table. As he starts to walk around the restaurant again, giving people drinks or taking orders, once the both of them are back at their table properly seated again, Ryoko looks at her friend like she was crazy. What is going on here? The more I start to look around this place, the more villains that I'm starting to recognize, along with heroes just being okay with them being here. First off, you need to chill. Second, this restaurant caters not only to heroes but also villains. This restaurant is a neutral zone. No matter who walks through that door, they'll be treated all the same. I'm surprised your mentor never brought that up to you while teaching you. I never had a mentor. I did everything myself. I built everything from the ground up. Oh, that explains a lot. Anyway, just chill, order something to eat, and just enjoy yourself. Think of this place only for civilians. There's no such thing as heroes or villains within these walls. Just have fun. Izuku came over to the table and brought over a decent-sized shot glass and placed it down right in front of Rumi. Your 666 layer of the abyss is ready for you. As for your usual, are you sure you don't wish to order a main meal before having dessert? Well, since I'm dining with someone in particular, I guess I will. What would you recommend for me tonight? Izuku thought about it for a few seconds. I would recommend our teriyaki chicken skewers. They are slowly marinated in our special house soy sauce, accompanied by a rainbow of different bell peppers along with pineapple and cubed red onions. That does sound delicious, but of all your dishes, why do you recommend that one? Well, seeing that you like to drink heavy whenever you're here, I would like for you at least to have a healthy main dish in your system to help absorb most of that alcohol. Along with your usual dessert to help round out the meal, it will help you relax and enjoy yourself, but most importantly, it's nutritious for a hero such as yourself. I could listen to you talk about food all day. Well, if that's what you recommend for me, I'll definitely have that. Very well. And for you, ma'am? Ryoko was still looking over the menu when she finally found something. I will have your carpaccio, and do you think instead of using butter, you could use low-fat olive oil as a substitute? Of course, madame. That is one of our most popular seafood dishes, mixed with sea bass, shrimp, and clams. Definitely paired great with mushrooms and cherry tomatoes. Is there anything you would prefer to drink tonight besides water? Ryoko looks over the cocktail menu, trying not to have anything too heavy tonight. I don't know. I usually don't drink out that much. Is there anything you might recommend, or if you think something non-alcoholic would work best with the meal? I definitely think if you're going to be dining with Rumi, you should have a little bit of alcohol. I recommend a green mana. It's made with mint leaves, melon liqueur, fresh lime juice, white rum, and club soda. It's tantalizing and enjoyable, and it's not too heavy for those who don't drink too much. Does that fit your criteria, miss? Yes, that will be fine. Noting all of that down as he makes his way to the kitchen, Ryoko still feels uneasy, seeing more villains pop up out of nowhere and finding it disgraceful for even heroes dining with them. But what really had her curiosity was the waiter, because he seems to be everywhere. Hey Rumi, you seem to know the green hair guy very well. What's his ability? Is it some kind of cloning? Is he just really really fast. What's his deal? Rumi enjoys her drink as she seemed to actually be watching one of the Izukus mix a cocktail behind the bar when she finally heard her friend's voice. What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What were you saying? I asked, what can you tell me about the green hair guy? Oh, Izuku? He's a nice guy. He's the 9th generation owner of the restaurant. He takes a lot of pride in his cooking. He runs this entire establishment by himself using his clones, and he's one of the sweetest ex-boyfriends I've ever had. He's known to also make a very mean cocktail. Wait. You two dated and he's the one that dumped you? Yeah, is there a problem? Yes, why would you continue to go to his restaurant when he broke your heart? I remember that day. You were so sad. I've never seen you stay home for so long and stay so still. It took me hours to get you to open up to me about what happened, and yet you act like nothing happened. It's because it wasn't a bad breakup. It was best for the both of us. Really, in the end, I was just really over emotional about it when it first happened. I sometimes miss the fact that he used to put his hands around my neck. Ryoko decided to take the worst time to drink water because the moment she heard the last part of that statement, she spit it out. Excuse me? Are you saying that he was abusing you? Abusive is one way to put it. I remember when I used to leave his apartment with bruises. Ryoko felt like she was about to rip this whole place apart, knowing that this guy abused her friend, and it seemed like God was giving her permission. As the man returned to the table with her drink, and before he could walk away, she grabbed him right by the collar. So you're the son of a bitch that used to abuse my best friend. Do you think treating women like objects is okay? Ryoko, I don't know what you're talking about, but for your own health, I would recommend you let me go. Oh yeah? Or what are you going to do? Beat me up next? Before Izuku could respond, the multiple sounds of clicking from guns could be heard as all the villains in the restaurant at the moment had their guns pointed at Ryoko, and some of the heroes looked like they were about to get out of their seats to intervene, but the man of the hour, All Might, got in between the both of them and separated them. Do you have a death wish, Ryoko? Everybody knows that you shouldn't touch the restaurant owner. If you have a squabble with him, words are just fine, but the lot of us cannot guarantee your safety if you continue to be hostile. I don't care if I have to bulldoze through all of you. That bastard used to treat my best friend like she was an object, and I will not stand for it. Ryoko? Not now, Rumi. To all of those who just pulled out a gun, I would appreciate if you would holster them. If one sheen of glass gets broken because of a bullet or somebody's life gets taken, I'm closing down the restaurant for at least a week. Just the mere thought of the restaurant being closed for a week makes everybody there shiver in fear as all the villains quickly hide their guns, as the actual heroes were starting to get closer to make sure no more violence would happen. But Ryoko just hated how much control this guy had over everyone, not understanding what this restaurant really was as she lunges at Izuku one more time, pushing All Might out of the way, getting a tight grip on his collar, nearly choking him out. This restaurant may be closed longer than that for domestic abuse against Rumi. Ryoko, I really wish you would. Stay quiet, Rumi. So what do you have to say for yourself? I really think you misunderstand the situation. All Might started laughing as he remembers that Ryoko and Rumi were really close. Oh, I see what's going on here. It looks like another dollar for the memory jar. Toxic Chainsaw came stumbling over a little drunk. Seriously, she hasn't even been here for 30 minutes and somebody already bringing up their past? And what's so funny about him abusing her? Rumi finally had enough and yelled out, Ryoko! Ryoko was already frustrated as she yells back, what is it? I probably should have explained a little bit better, but I was caught up in some good memories, but I like being abused a little bit. I'm a fighter, not a damsel. So if I could be with a partner that's willing to fight me in the bed as much as I fight in the street, it would be a pleasurable experience for me. She also sighs as walking over towards a jar that has the word memory written on it and placing $1 inside. And this is why I stopped at the ATM. So So wait, he didn't do anything against your will? No. What about the times you said you were leaving his apartment with bruises? Yeah, from slamming into things when we were getting too passionate. Izuku coughed a little bit as he had a little bit of a blush on his cheeks. I would appreciate if you let go of my collar and please stop talking about such inappropriate topics in a family restaurant. Ryuko lets go of Izuku and just stands there confused. But if the two of you had such good chemistry, why did you break up? That's the thing, we were way too compatible and we got lost in what we call passion. There was times where I didn't feel like going to the restaurant anymore to be part of the community, and there were days that Rumi thought about retiring from heroism at such a young age. Because we couldn't be separated from each other, it was almost like a drug, so I decided for better or worse to break up with her to save both of our careers and our lives. Izuku dusted himself off, making sure to straighten up his collar. Now, if you can please stay calm and not cause any more disturbance for the other diners, your food should be out shortly. All Might places a hand on Ryuko's shoulder. Trust me when I tell you, everybody here was actually very confused when they broke up. He was very happy with her, and she became a lot kinder and sweeter of a person. But because of their strong compatibility, they lost sight of what they truly love to do. Sometimes love has to have limits, and they didn't know where to place their limits. So one of them had to do what was right for the both of them. Ryuko was very conflicted, looking over at Rumi, who had taken her seat back at the table, wanting to finally de-escalate the situation and look into things later. She just went back to the table and quickly sat down. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I didn't really explain it to you right, but I didn't expect you to blow up like a firework. That's usually my thing. You're like a sister to me. To think that something negative was happening to you without me knowing made me go off. But it really wasn't any of my business to begin with. Plus, I didn't like the idea of all those guns pointing at me from different angles. I don't know if I even transformed I would have survived. Rumi chuckles at the idea. If you would have transformed, you wouldn't have made it a block away from here before your carcass would have hit the pavement. Ryuko winced at the idea. Thanks for the comforting words. Both of them were surprised when Izuku showed up, placing their dishes right in front of them. The aroma coming off of the dishes of different spice made Ryuko so surprised by the scent of her compaccio, it almost made her feel like she was right by the seaside. As for Rumi, a single whiff of her teriyaki skewers made her feel like she was transported to one of the best luau's of her life, as both girls let out a small moan of pleasure just from the scent alone. Bon appetit. I also have to ask, Ryuko, are you going to have dessert? Ryuko wasn't fully paying attention. She was still being overwhelmed by the dish in front of her, fighting back drool in her mouth, trying to keep an elegant appearance. Yes, I'll leave that up to you. Chef, surprise me with the best dessert you can think of. Very well, enjoy your meal. Rumi didn't hesitate to. She just started picking up the skewers and pulling the meat and veggies right off, munching away like somebody who hasn't eaten in days, but a few seconds later she had a face of pure bliss. Ryuko was hesitant as she took her fork and knife and cut right into the fish, dipping it a little bit in the sauce. And once she put it into her mouth, the whole sensation of being somewhere else underneath the pressure of water as her vision could see multiple different types of fish swimming around her. Her lips began to wiggle a little bit, trying to keep a calm and neutral face, but the more she allowed the flavor to dance around her tongue, she couldn't help but smile ear to ear. This flavor is unreal. It's like a different sensation going through my body with each bite. I don't even feel like I'm sitting in this chair. I feel like I'm in the middle of the ocean swimming without a care. I know, right? He understands detail and texture, allowing people to taste a whole different world with each one of his dishes that he prepares. He's like a magician, and if you think your main course is delicious, just wait for his baking skills are truly out of this world. She finished her skewers, but what caught her attention was her friend basically shaking in her chair. her. Let me guess, his food made you weak in the knees? Ryoko blushes as she tries to steady herself. Shut up, I don't need other people realizing it. It's okay, first-timers always act that way. His food has an overwhelming effect on the entire body. I remember the first time I ate here, I was practically catching my breath in my chair. Izuku walks up to the table as he has a tray in hand. From how I remember it, not only were you basically catching your breath, but when you first got up, you stumbled and landed on your knees. I tried to help you up, but you were so mad because you felt like your pride was hurt and stomped right out. He then places 2 dishes right in front of the girls. For you, Rumi, I prepared your usual sponge cake chateau, and for you, Ryoko, I felt like after your amazing seafood dish that I would give you another mix of culture. This is an Italian dish known as a lemon semifreddo. It's a dessert that loves to mix a cake and ice cream topped with pralines. It's specially made in-house ice cream, and the bottom layer is a biscuit. There are many different ways to make this dessert, but I feel like this one is the best. I hope you enjoy. Both of them bit into their dessert as they could feel a firework-like punch of acidity. Ryoko felt as though she was standing in the middle of a lemon orchard, allowing the breeze to pass her by while wearing a sundress and holding a basket filled with freshly pecked lemons. Rumi felt as though she was bouncing on a cloud, experiencing a whole new layer of citrus love. It was like she was on an island in the sky, and she never wanted to go back to the blue sea below. By the time the both of them finished snapping back to reality, they realized they haven't even moved from their seats as both of them paid for their meal and decided to walk home. Ryoko could still taste the ice cream on her lips and a little bit of the crumble from the biscuit on her tongue as she was swooned by this dessert as she tried to focus, knowing that something like this could not be usual for her. This restaurant was so unbelievable. It was like it was teleporting us to a whole new world. I know, right? It's almost like a drug. Sometimes I wish I could just keep on eating that one singular dish. That way I could stay within my fantasy. I still don't like how he allows villains to walk around like they've done nothing wrong. If I wasn't off the clock, I would have staked out this entire restaurant all night waiting for them to come outside. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. There's certain laws in place that say you can't. What are you talking about? What law? Rumi smirks as she bounces off, getting on top of one of the nearby buildings. Look it up yourself. I'm going to get home before I get a little bit transfixed on the flavor still remaining on my tongue. You should do the same. It's not safe for people like us to be walking the street at night. Ryoko watched as her best friend leaped off without explaining herself and looking back at the restaurant one last time. Izuku, just who are you? But that's where I'm gonna leave this trailer off this time, guys. I truly hope you enjoy this. I know it's something different than what I usually do, but make sure to leave a like and comment down below. And with all that said, I'm out. Peace.